Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to learn some laws of exponents or indices using some examples, and later we will solve some examples which use the combination of these laws. So let us start with the first law, which is product law. Now here A is called as the base and M and N are called as the exponents or powers or indices of the given bases. Now here under the product law we can see that the bases are same and they are multiplied together. So in such cases where the bases are same and there is multiplication or product between them, so we take the same base and then add up the powers. So here the base is remaining same, that is A, and here we have added the powers, that is M plus N. Now let us try to understand this law using an example. X to the power of 3 times x to the power of 7 is equal to x to the power of 3 plus 7. So here x represents the base and 3 and 7 represents the exponents or powers of the base x, and there is product between the bases. So we take the same base x and add the powers. We get the final answer as x to the power of 10. Now let us move on to the second law. Now under the division law we have two types. So here again we have taken the bases as A and the powers as M and N, and we can see that there is division between the terms. So whenever there is division, that is a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n, then there is subtraction between the powers. So we have written the same base a, but you can see here the powers have got subtracted. That is the power which is in the numerator, m, subtracts the power which is in the denominator. Now this happens when the power in the numerator is bigger than the power in denominator. So for example, y to the power of 5 over y to the power of 1. So if there is no power over here, we default consider it to be as 1. So here, since there is division and the bases are same, so we have written the base y and the powers will get subtracted. That is, power in the numerator is higher than the power in the denominator. So we write it as 5 minus 1, giving us the answer as y to the power of 4. Now let us consider the second type. Now here the power in the denominator, if it is greater than the numerator power, then we are going to write it as 1 over a to the power of n minus m. So let me consider another example over here. If we have been given the question as y over y to the power of 5. Now here you can see that the power of y in the numerator is 1 and the power in the denominator is 5. Now the denominator power is bigger than the numerator power. So we are going to write it as 1 over y to the power of, now the power 1 should go down and we are going to write it as 5 minus 1. So here we get the answer as 1 over y to the power of 4. So this becomes our answer. So remember, in division law we have two types. Now let us move on to the next law, power multiplication law. So under this law we have taken the base as a and it is raised to the power of m, and we can see that this is again raised to the power of n. So in such cases where a power is again raised to another power, we get it equal to the base. Now the powers will get multiplied. So let us consider an example now. So here we have the base y raised to the power of 2 and this is again raised to the power of 5. So here we have written the base y and we can see that the powers have got multiplied. That is 2 times 5, giving us the final answer as y to the power of 10. Now moving on to the next law, power of 0. Now here if we have a base say a and it is raised to the power of 0, then we always get the answer as 1 no matter what the base is. So here we have written an example where the base is 1021 and this base is raised to 0. So we can see that we have got the answer as 1. So this represents the power of 0 law. Now the next law is negative power law. Now this is one of the most important laws to be remembered and it has two types as well. Now in the first type we can see that the base a is raised to a negative power, that is negative n. This changes as 1 over, now this base a comes to the denominator along with its power, but you can see the sign of the power has changed. That is, negative power has become into a positive power. Now it can be reversed as well. So for example, in the question if you have been given 1 over 5 to the power of 2, then you can also write it as 5 to the power of negative 2. So remember to change the signs of the powers and also the places of the base. Now the numerator becomes denominator and the denominator can become numerator, that is vice versa. So let us consider an example depending on the first type. So 6 to the power of -2. Here the base is 6 and the power is -2. So if we want to get a positive power, we are just going to write it as 1 over, take this base 6 to the denominator and write the same power but change the sign. So negative power has become into positive power. So it becomes 1 over 6 square, giving us 1 over, the value of 6 square is 36. So the answer becomes 1 over 36. Now let us focus on the second type. Now here we have a fraction, unlike the first one. So here if we have been given a over b to the power of -n, we are going to just flip the fraction, that is b comes to the numerator and a goes to the denominator, and you can see the sign of the power has changed. The negative power has become into a positive power. Now let us consider an example on this. Here I have taken the same law for easy reference, that is negative power law. So here you can see there is a fraction given 3 over 4 and it is raised to the power of -2. So we are just going to flip it upside down. So 4 comes to the numerator and 3 goes to the denominator, and here you can see the sign of the power has changed. We get it as +2. Now here the 2 goes to the numerator and 2 also goes to the denominator. The power distribution happens over here. So we get 4 square over 3 square, giving us the value as 4 square is 16 over 3 square is 9. So this is the answer for 3 over 4 to the power of -2. Power distribution law. So here we have taken two bases a and b which are multiplied together and they are raised to the power of m. So this power gets distributed to a as well as b, giving us a to the power of m times b to the power of m. Now there can be multiple bases over here, so all the bases will get the same power. Now this power distribution happens in the case of division as well. So this law I have used it over here where the power 2 got distributed to the numerator term as well as denominator. So the power distribution law applies to the multiplication of bases or division of bases. So here we have considered an example, that is 4 times x square times y whole thing raised to the power of 3. So this power 3 gets distributed to the base 4, to the base x square and to the base y. So here we got 4 cube times x square raised to the power of 3 times y cube. Now in the next step we have simplified this term, that is 4 cube gives us 64 times, now using the power multiplication law we have multiplied the powers over here, giving us x to the power of 6 times y cube. Now these were some of the laws which I have considered over here. Now after this let us start with the examples where combination of all these laws are used. So the first question is 4b square times 2b to the power of 6. Now here we are going to first multiply the numbers. So 4 is being multiplied with 2. So 4 times 2 gives us 8. And then we are going to make use of the product law because we can see that the bases are same, that is b is same, and there is multiplication between them. So we have written b here and then we have added the powers 2 and 6. So this will simplify as 8 times b to the power of 2 plus 6 is 8. So this is going to be our answer. Now the second question is 2a, the whole term is raised to the power of 4. So here we are going to make use of power distribution law where the power gets distributed to 2 as well as a. So here we have written 2 to the power of 4 times a to the power of 4. So 2 raised to 4 gives us 16 times a to the power of 4. So this is going to be our answer. Now the third one is 7w to the power of 4 times 3z to the power of 4. Now the whole term is raised to the power of 2. Now we are going to keep the first term as it is, that is 7w to the power of 4, and then applying the power distribution law, the power 2 gets distributed to 3 as well as z to the power of 4. So we get here 3 square times z to the power of 4 times 2. Here we have used power multiplication rule. So here simplifying we get 7 times w to the power of 4 times 3 square is 9 times z to the power of 4 times 2 is 8. Now let us multiply the numbers, that is 7 and 9 multiplies together to give us 63 times w to the power of 4 times z to the power of 8. So this is going to be our answer. Now moving on to the next one. So here the next question is 2a to the power of 3 divided by 3a square times 6a to the power of 5. Now here we are going to make use of order of operations, that is BODMAS. So since we have division and multiplication both over here, Using the BODMAS rule, we are going to start the operation from left to right. So first we are going to divide 2a cube by 3a square. So here we have written 2a cube divided by 3a square, and then this fraction gets multiplied by 6a to the power of 5. Now in the next step, we have separated the numbers, that is 2 over 3, from the fraction, times now we have separated the a terms, that is a cube over a square, times 6a to the power of 5. Now in the next step, we have multiplied the numbers together which are in the numerator. So 6a to the power of 5 can be written as 6a to the power of 5 over 1. So here 2 and 6 gets multiplied together, giving us 12 over 3 times, now using the division law, since the power in the numerator is higher than the power in the denominator, we are going to take 2 to the numerator, giving us a to the power of 3 minus 2 times now a to the power of 5. So simplifying this, we get 12 over 3 times now a to the power of 1 times a to the power of 5. Now the next step is further simplification. So here 3 divides 12, that is 3 1 times is 3 and 3 4 times is 12. So we get 4 times. Now using the product law again, we have the same basis, so the powers will get added, giving us a to the power of 1 plus 5. So we get the final answer as 4 times a to the power of 6. This is going to be our answer. Now the next question is 2y cube, the whole term raised to the power of 2, divided by 2y cube. Now using the power distribution law, this power 2 goes to 2 as well as y cube. So we get 2 square times y to the power of 3 times 2 over 2y cube. Now 2 square value is 4 times, now here the powers will get multiplied. So y to the power of 3 times 2 is y to the power of 6 over 2 times y cube. Now here 2 divides 4, that is 2 1 times is 2 and 2 2 times is 4, and here using the division law, we are going to get y to the power of 6 minus 3. So finally we get the answer as 2 times y to the power of 3. So this is going to be our answer. Now the next question is 6c to the power of 4 plus 10c to the power of 6 divided by 2c. Now for these kind of questions, we are going to separate the numerator terms with the denominator. So 2c goes to 6c to the power of 4 and also to 10c to the power of 6. So we have separated out the terms. Now once we do this, we can easily apply the laws, starting with the numbers, that is 2 divides 6, that is 2 1 times is 2 and 2 3 times is 6. So we get 3 here. Now using the division law, now the power of c, that is 1, goes to the numerator, giving us 4 minus 1, that is 3. So the simplification of first term becomes 3c to the power of 3 plus, now the simplification of second term, 2 divides 10, that is 2 1 times is 2 and 2 5 times is 10, and using the division law, we get c to the power of 6 minus 1, which will give us 5c to the power of 5. So this is the simplified answer of this question. Now the last question, 10a cube times b to the power of 5 times c over 6a cube times b to the power of 7. Now here the first step is separation of the numbers and the letters. So we have separated out the numbers, that is 10 over 6, then a over a, then b over b and c over c. So here we have a to the power of 3 in the numerator, and also in the denominator we have written the same terms over here. And b to the power of 5 and b to the power of 7, we have separated out the b terms. And since there is no c term in the denominator, we have just written c in the numerator. Now once we have done this, now comes the simplification. So here 10 and 6 go in the table of 2. So 2 3 times is 6 and 2 5 times is 10. So here we get 5 over 3. Now a cube and a cube, they will divide each other, they both are same. Now here again using the division law, we can see that the denominator power is higher than the numerator power. So 5 goes to the denominator. So we get 1 over b to the power of 7 minus 5 times c. So one final simplification step, 5 times 1 is 5 and 5 times c is 5c over 3 times b to the power of 7 minus 5 is 2. So here our answer is going to be 5c over 3b square. So this is how we use the laws of indices or exponents to solve these kind of examples. I hope you have understood all the steps and liked the video. And if you found this video useful, then check out this playlist where you'll find more examples of this kind. And if you're liking my videos, like, share and subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.